This is my first ever reaction video. I've watched lots of them. I enjoy the format, but I also am totally obsessed with the Wheel of Time books. So there was no way for me to watch this show without at least trying out doing some reaction videos. I know these won't be great. I'm pretty limited in my editing abilities and stuff. I'm pretty proud of myself that I figured out how to put that little Wheel of Time stamp on the corner video, and that's not much. I know. But this is just going to be my attempt to get something out so that people can experience the show with me. A little bit about me. My name's Kevin. I don't know if I said that. I really do love these books. I've probably read the whole series like 10 times. I've been reading them since I was a kid. And I'm really excited to see some format of the show. I also am like, I know there's changes and stuff because we saw that in the trailers. I'm going to do my best to be as positive as I can about those changes. I read comic books and stuff, and so I recognize that when you give material over to a new person, it's going to change. Like, they're going to take their own view on it and stuff like that. So I hope you can forgive me for the times when I'm going to be like, well, that's not what the book's like. But those of you that have read the books, hopefully you can at least agree with me a little bit. Yeah, if I come across as negative, it's not intentional, because I am really excited for this. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. And yeah, I'm no pro, so I'm going to be doing this. I'll probably pause it on occasion so that I can talk a little bit, just so I don't talk over the show for myself. But yeah, let's go ahead and go. Oh, guys, really, I'm so excited for this.
Cities burned, and the women of the Aes Sedai were left to pick up the pieces.
That's fair.
These women remembered one thing.
Oh, it's her angry all.
The man
guys.
who brought the breaking of the world.
Okay, where are we now? Not the two rivers. Top knots? Are those top knots? They're not shaved top knots, but they look like top knots. Are we in Shinar? I'm feeling Borderlands. We're somewhere in the... Oh, we got Red Sisters. Okay, so these are men who can channel. I would not stop. That's Liandrin, dude. I would not stop.
Don't hurt him. It's not his fault.
Who are you talking about? There's no one else here.
Oh, he's mad. Oh.
The madness already has him.
This is a good way to start the show.
And when you touch it, you make it filthy.
Oh. Well, I already like her. As Liandrin, that is.
Sisters!
Where next?
The two rivers.
Ooh, so there's the Sword of the Malkieri Kings.
There are rumors of 4 Taviran there. All the right age.
Rumors of Taviran?
The old blood runs deep in those mountains.
Old bloodlines. This is cool. Is that... Are those are skyscrapers. Oh, that's cool. We got ruins from the breaking. That's a little more obvious than the ruins of the breaking are in the books, I feel like, but that was cool. That was cool. I liked it. That was a cool visual. Oh, now we're in the two rivers. Boy. Is this really what the Czech Republic looks like? I've never been there, obviously. Gorgeous. Apparently I need to go to the Czech Republic.
Trust the river.
Okay, here goes. There we go. Gotta go with it. Can't fight the river.
I remember when this road
Wow.
was just a little deer path winding down the mountain.
How'd you get the wool to town?
Carried it.
And the brandy?
That stayed home.
No.
Mother could drink.
The old quarry road has been there a long time, guys. Wolves. Wolves are important. Wolves are important.
Something's been pushed.
Pretty rowdy for the Two Rivers.
Right, gentlemen.
Just having
and
fun,
lady,
though, right?
I
Just
want to
having
thank
fun.
you all very much.
Yeah, see, the Two Rivers wouldn't have had, like, open
We'll get 'em
gambling
next
in
time,
it
man.
in the
Next
books,
time.
but,
How about
you know,
right now,
whatever.
eh?
Not a big deal.
Anyone?
Talking.
About what? You're married. Your life's over. And Rand's
Perrin
pining
is
over a
married
plane,
for
cold in
some
the
reason.
mountains, only...
I was worried though.
That guy's Bran. You know, I'm trying not to be too hung up on how anybody looks, but Bran's supposed to be a big old fat guy. Big old fat guy. Because Rand never, like, stops trusting skinny innkeepers at one point. I'm listening to the music a lot. I don't know what I expected, but it's a little different than I expected, but I like it.
Don't know, actually.
Yourself, stranger.
It seems like that would be Bran's job as the mayor
Dragoran.
and the innkeeper.
This is my reign.
Lan Mandragoran. That's just one of the best names in the history of books, guys.
I love you.
I know.
Oof. Han Solo!
Same thing as anyone else.
Is that
What's
Natty? Really?
I'd
Oh,
rather
and
whole
Abel's...
town could see him. Prick.
Why?
Pig!
Come on. Time to go home, Mum.
I will go where I want.
So they've made Natty and Abel into pieces of shit, huh?
Lassie.
1,000 war.
So, I guess if Abel and Natty Cawthon are going to be like drunk pieces of shit who didn't raise their kids right at all and, you know, left Matt in charge of everything, it seems like maybe that could explain some of the... There was like that interview with the actor who plays Matt, and everybody freaked out about, including me, honestly, about his take on the character, because it seemed like he sort of thought Matt was kind of a dick, and Matt's not he really isn't. But it looks like that was what he was given. He's just, I suppose he hasn't read the books, and he's just working with the source material they gave him, in which Matt is apparently a dick, because he grew up in a shitty household. So, okay, let's go on.
Or biding my time until I could get you alone.
We know what scene this is, don't we, friends? They don't seem very close. The characters were much closer than this.
I'm sorry,
in the
it's
books.
just I'm thinking about something that I need.
Well, that's pretty close. We'll call it familiar, at least. Good music. Again, I like the music.
You know,
Has that been in your pocket all day?
maybe.
Yeah.
Come here.
Right in the kitchen, huh? Jumping straight in. So this, guys, if you don't read the books, I'm just going to give you a little note here. Bathing together like this is not like a romantic thing in the Borderlands. So that's where Lan, her warder, Moraine's warder, is from the Borderlands. And in the Borderlands, baths are communal, like the Romans did, you know, where you just have public baths and people go there and it's like a normal thing to do. It's like going to the public pool. It's just you're bathing. So yeah, there's at least, I mean, I hope there's no romantic relationship here because that would be a serious complication. Okay. So implied sexy time.
You let me fall asleep.
This whistle. It's like horror western.
No sweet sticks for you.
Guy's got a good smile.
Too early.
Yeah, this music's more modern than I would have imagined it being, but I like it. It sounds good.
So, what do you have for me this year?
Oh. So Matt's a thief.
We're looking to have her.
Matt likes to party, but he's got morals.
You're a right bastard, Paddington.
Pleasure as always.
Paddington is a right bastard. Are we not going to get our traditional Wheel of Time swearing in this show? That's a shame if
You didn't
so.
sleep last night.
I wonder about my life here
Gosh.
in the two rivers.
I mean, if that's a real
The house
shot.
I built.
I mean, yeah, there is a hint of modernity to their clothes, but again, if you get the whole cyclical nature of time thing and, you know, stuff was carried over. Okay, I'm going to nerd, and I just have to stop it to point out something that I noticed back there in that scene with Lan. So you see how he's wearing his sword on his back, right? And that's like a comic book thing. Like, you didn't do that very much in real life because it's really hard to draw a sword off your back because you can only draw as far as your arm can go. And usually your sword's going to still be in its sheath. If you're going to draw it far enough out, you're stuck, like halfway out. And that's obviously not good if you want to use your sword. So if you saw how his sword is, it's got a pin set through the rounded the Asian style handle that he's got. What do you call that? Is it the tanto? No. Anyway, anyhow, he's got a pin through, and then the back of the scabbard is not there. So it's like a taco, right, that the sword's set down into, so that he's wearing it on his back and he can still draw it even though it's a two-handed broadsword, which is going to be really long. And you know what? I just have to point that out because that's an attention to detail that matters, and I appreciate it. First, look at the Althor farm.
Doesn't matter where we are when we do it, really.
God, look at that.
How long does it take before the Wheel of Time turns someone's spirit back into the world again?
Wish I knew. But I'm sure there's a reason no one can remember their previous lives. All we can do is the best we can with the life that's given to us.
Some lovely exposition. Thank you, Amazon.
And take comfort from it.
Our loved ones' souls to make their way back here. We'd best show them something.
Oh God, here it is, guys. Beltane Night. Again, the music sounds more modern than I ever imagined, but I like it. Was that a spear? Oh shit. Oh, it's a whole axe? Oh, this is savage. Matt, the accidental hero. Where are Moraine and Lan? This is... How many people have they killed? Here it is, Tam. Oh. Where's your sword, Tam? There's your sword.
Hey, over here!
Oh, Heron Mark blade, y'all. Ooh. Oh, and Rand kills him. Oh, there should have been more than one Trolloc, guys. There should have been more than one, because
I'm fine.
It's a Trolloc. You need
Tam
to get
should have
out
been cutting through a couple of them like butter. It needed to be a numbers game. Oh, did she just ripped him in half with weaves of air? That's... Oh, and fireballs. Alright. So the hand motions. So, the magic in this world, it's really cool. The system is. It's like elemental based. But anyway, you like use the elements, you combine them together in what you call weaves, and then you can make different things out of them, right? And the Aes Sedai of this era also believe that there are like hand motions and stuff you have to do certain things. It's not exactly true, but so that's what she was doing, all those like crazy like acting like a cheerleader, because that's the only way that Aes Sedai think that they can cast those spells. So you know, it's not, I've seen people that are like, oh, it's like Airbender. Like, no, if anything, Airbender is like this, guys, because this predates Airbender by so much. But it's really not. It's different. It just the way they're portraying it, I guess, is looking a little similar, but the philosophy behind it's really different. Oh!
You want a real feast? Come and
Oh. Here we go. Alright. Women of the Two Rivers moment. Which is straight up out of the books. I don't want to hear shit from any neckbeards that want to get mad about women having a valid part to play in defending themselves. Ooh, yeah, Perrin, you got your axe. Girls fighting with a blacksmith hammer? Woof. Oh! I wish they'd use some more colors in making the weaves. I like that they're going for it, though. Like, you know, it's so much of what's in these books is going to be so hard to show visually. Oh! Yeah! Get him, Perrin. Perrin's my dude. No! Fuck! Oh! No! This is why they gave Perrin a wife? Oh. Damn!
Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me.
Why? Why do this to Perrin? Oh, man. That's a serious wound.
There's too many.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, I guess she's got to pull it out, otherwise she can't move her hands. Like I said earlier, she's got to be able to move her hands, or she can't do some of her weaves. Boy, those Trollocs look good. Standing in a group is a bad idea. Trollocs aren't big thinkers, y'all. Ooh. Wow. She's sort of just like jangin' the wine spring in, huh? Like, at what point does the wine spring stop? Yeah, right there. That point right there. That was a cool shot. Try not to drop any spoilers that affect storyline, guys. I'm doing my best. Well, at least she
Thank the light.
nominally gives a shit about her kids.
Perrin!
Guys, I don't even know what to think about this Perrin situation. This is wild. Good visual on the healing, though there should have been a little more acting involved. It's supposed to be kind of spasmodic, all your muscles clench, you know. Which is not a hard, that's not a hard thing to act. Boy, we're just
those? The dark
fully
ones
done
are
with the 2 rivers in
Trollocs.
episode 1.
300 at least.
300.
Here so fast.
Poor Perrin. God, he's
In one
just
age, called
zombie.
the Third Age by some, a wind rose in the mountains of mist.
Oh,
The wind was not the beginning. There are neither beginnings nor endings to the turning of the wheel of time. But it was a beginning.
that's a good way to end the first episode. A few of my theories about how this show was going to start were totally wrong. But yeah, that was good. That was good. I'm a big character guy, so I did feel like that was a little bit light on character development, but also thinking about the world of Robert Jordan and how much exposition there is just to explain the basics. Like, every time I've tried to get someone to read these books, I have to, like, try and explain enough of the plot and the world to them to get them interested, right? And, sorry, I also know that there's this glare in my glasses and it looks terrible, but this is the best I can do for now, guys. Hopefully, if I keep doing this, I'll upgrade a little bit and things will start looking nicer, but this is pretty rough. But, as I was saying, whenever I'm trying to explain this to a new person, I always, I'm listening to myself and I'm like, boy, you sound like a crazy person, because there's so much to get out. Like, there's so many different aspects that you want to tell people because you're excited about the different talents and abilities that these characters end up having over the course of the books, and you want to, get people interested in them. And the hardest part of that is getting them, in my opinion, past book 1, because it's not that book 1 is bad. I love book 1. It's a fantastic book. It's a great journey. Very traditional fantasy. But at the same time, the world building elements don't really take off until some of the later books. And that makes sense, because when Robert Jordan first started writing this series, he was intending to only write, I think it was 6 books, or even less. It might have been 4 books or just a trilogy. But then as he got into writing it, he fell in love with his own product and just went to town on it. And that's how we ended up with the 14 books and the prequel and the companion books, which are, basically just stuff taken out of his notes and whatever and translated into a format that those of us who are obsessed with the Wheel of Time can own and enjoy, by his wife, who I very much appreciate for putting that together. So I enjoyed that. I really did. I thought the Trollocs looked really good. That was one of my big fears, especially because they saved the reveal of the Trollocs till so late in the process. I was worried they were going to look hokey. I don't think they look hokey. I think they look pretty freaking scary. They're about the right size. And they were savage. Boy, they were rough. I also, I don't love how the Myrddraal looks. I'm just going to put that out there. That's one of my few real complaints with everything I've seen so far. I get that they went for scary, and there's so many people out there who are going to say, I'm wrong about this, I'm sure, because watching reactions of the trailers and stuff, a lot of people, especially people who didn't read the books, really liked that Myrddraal that they've made. They really thought he was terrifying. They thought he was really scary. And he is really scary. But Myrddraal in the books should basically look just like men, except they're pale and they just don't have eyes. So they should still have a nose, they should have a human mouth and all that. And that allows them to blend in human cities as long as they're wearing their hood up. That's why you see them with their hood up all the time. They can, at night at least, they can sort of just walk through human cities and stuff like that without being seen, because they can just blend in. And so I think that this new eel-faced Myrddraal would have a pretty hard time blending in pretty much anywhere since he doesn't have a nose. But it's just a decision. They went with a stronger look. But I think that they would be scarier if they were more human with just the one changed aspect, which is the eyelessness. Let me see the Perrin thing. Okay, guys. So Perrin is like my dude. I love Perrin in the books. I always did as a kid, right from the start. He's a really great character, and he cares a lot about other people, and he does a lot of thinking about other people before he acts. And he's more careful with other people, than he is with himself a lot of the time. And I respect that. I like that about his character. So when they were like, "Oh, Perrin's gonna have a wife," I was like, "What? I don't know why." Because obviously they're not just gonna like add a wife that then goes along on the journey. They're not just gonna add some extra, and some character when they're leaving characters out that a lot of us love. They're not gonna add characters that they just made up for no reason. They shouldn't. That wouldn't be good script writing. So they decided that she needed to be in the script for a reason. And I guess I'm putting it. I'm literally. I'm trying to sort it out in my head as we go. I feel like Perrin in the books ends up carrying a lot of guilt about a violent action that he commits pretty early in the book series. Something violent that happens that is nominally out of his control. That's all I'll do to outline it. But he ends up killing some people. And I'm wondering if that's still going to happen now, or because it ends up inspiring this like real and intense dislike of violence in Perrin, even though he's a character who eventually ends up having to use a lot of violence to do the right things. And there's a really interesting struggle that goes on in his character over that. And so maybe they're just getting a jump start on Perrin and his abhorring violence. Because, boy, would that put an impact on you if you collapsed into a kind of feral rage when you were killing someone or something with an axe, which would not be enjoyable for most people. You don't want to kill someone with an axe. That would be incredibly rough. And he just reacted, and he killed someone he loved. Not just killed someone, he killed someone he loved. Oh, boy. Yeah, this is like when they first said they were doing this series, a lot of people were like, this is a dark series. Like, this is going to get dark. And they got those notes for sure, because it seems they've decided to make this show even darker than the book series is. Natty and Abel Cawthon in the books are really nice people and great parents. They're not alcoholics, it's not like that. Matt is much more lighthearted. He's a lot more fun than this Matt seems to be, and he's certainly not a thief. You know, maybe he's borrowed something on occasion without asking, but he wouldn't steal things and sell them in the book. Um, but, again, I can't get hung up on that kind of stuff because that's just going to make me not enjoy something that is going to be really cool. So, I thought that was a pretty solid first episode. I'm a little disappointed on the character development aspects, but that was some pretty good action. They spent a lot of money on that. If you don't know, they actually built that set of the two rivers, and then they actually destroyed it. That's not all CGI. They genuinely destroyed the village that they built, so that you could see them destroy the village, which is pretty cool. Um, you know, uh, and that was a nice looking set. It didn't seem to me like they half-assed that. Um, and with the complaints, I've seen people complaining about how things are too clean or things look prefabricated, but that sort of misses out on the level of technology the society has. Right, this is more like Renaissance. Technology wise, we're really more in a period like the Renaissance. Renaissance Europe, Renaissance Italy, not the Dark Ages. Um, and I don't, without giving anything away, but by the end of the book series, people are like messing around with steam technology and stuff. Like it's not the Dark Ages. Um, so, and they also have things like the One Power. Um, Aes Sedai are not going to be dirty. People are like, oh, those women's clothes are too clean. In the books, they clean themselves with the power all the time. They do it daily because they got to look good. The average Aes Sedai wants to have the regality of a queen, and you can't walk around dirty, making people think you're a queen. So yeah, I'm okay. I could probably go on forever about this. Instead, I'm probably going to go ahead and watch episode 2. I don't know how long it's going to take me to edit this. I've literally never edited anything before. So it might be a little rough, but hopefully there's something here worth it for you guys. I'm trying to get some of my buddies involved, get some more people together, reacting to this in the future. And like I said, I'm gonna work on lighting and stuff like that. I'm gonna try and make it look better than this, but this is just what I had at the time when it came out, because you got to get on top of these things. And I just, I'm excited to be part of this Wheel of Time / reaction community. And I'll see you guys next time.